Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem HaRakakadash, the one is the elder apostles, the great millstone that rule well, and Shalom to the brothers in the wax centuries truth, pushing this word to the four corners. Got this on Forbes. It's kind of a response or what would the word be? Adjacent to the Elon Musk Trump fallout. But you mentioned Bitcoin, taking over as the reserve currency instead of the dollar, and the whole kerfuffle, the fisticuffs, the back and forth is kind of back off the back of the hell is it called? Is off the back of the big beautiful bill, the spending bill, and that's kind of well with the economy knowing where it has to end up, through prophecy, it's got to end up with that shit, man. That's basically gonna have to be the end game. Then looking at with policy being enacted, I would be surprised if breaking down, shaving that, wearing down the economy to where then jumping off the dollar onto digital currency onto that chip that could then be fuck that could then becomes more feasible. So it's on Forbes, it says what? Bitcoin going to take over. Elon Musk backs shock $40 trillion US dollar. No, $40 trillion US dollar collapse warning amid price boom. $40 trillion US dollar collapse. Okay. Would be 40 trillion US dollar collapse warning, whatever. The Bitcoin price set a new all-time high of $112,000 per Bitcoin last month, surging 50% from its April low. That's fucking crazy. Oh, wait, from the April low. Wait, what? I have to check that after. So it's a help by US President J.D. Vance issuing a huge crypto prediction. And that was the COVID-era meme stock craze turned to Bitcoin. Tesla billionaire Elon Musk has restarted his campaign against out-of-control US government spending, backing a warning that Bitcoin could take over from the US dollar as the world's reserve currency. And, the fallout between, these two, I'd say it feels more ego-driven, and it might just be, it seems like it's Elon not really getting his way. That's more the cause of it than anything else. Just from as far as because he kind of got let to run wild, and I'm guessing with this the bill, he wanted what he wanted, but Trump weren't fucking with it. He kind of pushing it through. Because they're saying, oh, there's too much spending, but then, the reality is anyway, the nature of how this economy runs is you need to spend, and regardless, he well, he's not the main character. Both Trump and Elon have that main character syndrome, so it's no surprise them bumping heads. Says that if the electorate doesn't hold Congress accountable to reducing the deficit and start paying down the debt, Bitcoin is going to take over as a reserve currency. Brian Armstrong, the chief executive of crypto exchange Coinbase, posted to X in comments reposted by Musk. Yeah. Obviously, they're pushing Bitcoin. Bitcoin ain't as far as it's not even realistic for it to become a kind of intermediary. It's still like the face of crypto, but then there's alternative coins that actually work as general like day-to-day payment kind of things. And then more likely not be CBDC. You're just gonna have that as the the filler, and then a lot of parts of this bill is, you know, folding together various parts of tech, various parts of not even creative. It would be various parts of different government branches, and folding them together so they can all communicate easier with one another. This is what I love Bitcoin, but strong America is also super important for the world. We need to get our finances under control. Musk, who last year embarked on a campaign against spiraling US debt while supporting US President Donald Trump's second bid for the White House, has come out against Trump's signature tax bill just days after leaving his role in Trump's administration. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office estimates Trump's so-called Big Beautiful Bill will add $3.8 trillion to the US's $36 trillion in debt over the next decade, taking it to an eye-watering $40 trillion. The joke is as well, it's like as far as how what do you call it? You know, that debt, the deficit for the US is in reality that's never getting paid down. And people really know it, but it's up until, you know, it's really creaking at the seams, and it's gonna have to be pushed to a breaking point. This is what, I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. Musk, who set up and led the Doge Department of Government Efficiency, posted to X, this massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Musk wrote that those who voted for it know you did wrong, and added in a follow-up post that will massively increase the already gigantic budget. This is probably where, you know, they're bumping heads on it. He's probably trying to convince them, like, yo, either spend less or, you know, spend significantly less. And, you know, from when Trump's got in, he's been taking care of, you know, certain peeps. So, you know, as far as his hands are tied with a lot of these things. But it's obviously, you know, the egos are clashing. But, you know, thingy being mentioned, Bitcoin being mentioned, I wouldn't even, you know, I'm not really surprised. As the US dollar continues to devalue, we're going to see the shift happen more and more as investors scramble to protect their assets. With Bitcoin holding steady above 100K for 20 days and counting, it's fast becoming a new safe haven. So yeah, you have, you know, Bitcoin being mentioned, you know, and Elon was retweeting hella shit. But it's not really a mystery or marvel, because why? You know, crypto, these things are being set up as the next kind of stage of how they're going to be dealing with, you know, these financial assets. And it's well, people are already cooked as far as it goes with the monetary system out here. Like, people are already cooked. They're already at a point where there's like no salvation really to be found within this monetary system. They're not they're you know, whatever they're trying to accomplish, to achieve, you know, through the system, it's realizing that's not going to come to pass. Man, they're gonna have a house, they're gonna be able to comfortably have kids. You know, they're not going to be able to, you know, take the 2 trips. They're not going to have the lives that their parents had within this system. That's a big kind of, you know, way to factor it in. Because a lot of what people want to do is kind of just like, oh, they want, you know, they saw like, oh, my parents were able to do X, Y, Z. And I think X, Y, Z, fucking hell. But then it's become clearer that in reality, that's not going to be as easy to attain as it once seemed. Because what does it say? Jeremiah 51 and 7, it says, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations were drunken of our wine, therefore the nations are mad. And yeah, it's funny that debt-based economic model that everyone's kind of taken up. Even the dollar as a world reserve currency as a form of stability. Those are all aspects of how they kind of, function and operate within the system. And they've, they got faith in it, they believe in it. But, it's wine at the end, man. It's an unjust weight, which is the real reason why it's only has a set time to run. This is what Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. Yeah, take balm for her pain, man. Some soothing balm. Elon's thinking these bills can be a soothing balm to save that America. But in reality, the way, these things are only running for a season. That's the other aspect. They're here for a certain season, a certain amount of time. Then it'll kind of, will come to its end. They're not looking to have it last forever anyway. And the Most High, really, which is more importantly, is not looking to have it last forever. So this is what we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let's go every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the sky. So yeah, we would have healed Babylon, but she's not healed. That, any attempts to save it, trying to mitigate, you might be able to squeak out a few extra, crumbs of sand in the hourglass. But in reality, it's set. It's there's a limit. There's a ceiling put on it, man. There's a cap. And once that's hit, it's done, man. It's a wrap. But yeah, I leave it there. Sure.